Do you remember how in previous book hauls I've kind of joked about, hey, I'm running out of space again? Well, guys, I'm actually starting to stack them over here. Again, like I always say, these are good problems to have, but look at some of these new things that I've added during the month of October. Hey, what's up, bookworms and bibliophiles? Mike back to talk another book haul for the month of October of 2021. Talking about all the new things added to the home library, courtesy of you, the viewer, and of course myself, and some very nice indie authors and some publishers, I believe, out there. We're going to talk about all these things, but as usual, guys, we're going to begin with digital purchases because, like I always say, they do count. I did add some digital purchases this month. I did read Necroscope by Ryan Lumley for the first time. I had already had book number 1 on digital. A viewer actually sent me book number 1. That's what I read out of when I just did that for spooky season. But I went ahead and picked up the rest of that series. Don't have an idea about when I'm going to get to the rest of that series, but I was interested enough in the world that Mr. Lumley created. Has some struggle with some character stuff, but that world has me interested enough to see what happens going forward, and everybody has told me that book 2 really, really pops off with that series, and I'm excited always to find some new scary vampires. Like I said, I'm tired of vampires being sexy. I want vampires that are going to eat you, not fall in love with you or stalk you. That's what I'm kind of interested in. And that's why I was kind of concerned about this next one here. I talked on my live stream recently about why I hadn't gotten this book. Well, I went ahead and picked up Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff just because I keep hearing so much about it. And I said that my concern with that was that I wondered if this was part of the YA teen paranormal romance books that have been kind of plaguing this genre for a while, but everyone has encouraged me that no, these are very gritty, dark, scary vampires. So I'm willing to give it a shot based off that. I really wish I could have got that very, very fancy, nice collector's edition, but they're already going on eBay for 4 digits. So I think I'll be fine just reading this one on digital. No plans right now immediately, but I think I will do that before I do any other Jay Kristoff books based off of what I have heard about it. So fingers crossed, because I'm always down for a new scary vampire story. And then I did ahead and picked up a new manga. If you guys watched my, what was it? What was I talking about? Uzumaki. Uzumaki was the one that I reviewed for spooky season, and I talked about that. That was my first real venture into horror manga. So I was very excited and optimistic about what I read. And I was looking forward to reading someone that was not Junji Ito, because I'm already convinced I'm going to love Junji Ito. So I went ahead and picked up Shujo Oshimi, and this is Blood on the Tracks. This is the one that I think comes up the most on like, hey, are you new to horror manga? Where should you start? And this one seems to be the one where you see this answer come up a lot, and it's a different kind of horror. But with me, I love uncomfortable horror, stuff that you know is coming and you can't stop it. That's the kind of horror that I like. So he's been the one has been recommended me to the most, I think, outside of Mr. Ito. So I went ahead and picked that up, and I'm looking forward to getting into more manga now that spooky season and sci-fi September are over. I am back on Berserk. I'm going to finish that in Death Note. Then I'm going to start rolling into some new things, and that would be one of them. And I don't really call it a digital purchase, but guys, I did get this from my wife. It's the new Kindle Paperwhite. She didn't want the Oasis when it came out. That's why I got the Oasis and gave her my Paperwhite. And, people got really, really nasty in those comments and told me, what a jerk. You get a new Kindle and you give your wife your old one. Why don't you give her your new one? She didn't want it. She didn't want the Oasis. She likes the Paperwhite, but she was very, very jealous of the processing speed on that. So I went ahead and picked this up for her. I haven't even opened it yet because I'm going to use it for a little bit and then kind of review that, because, that's apparently what I do on this channel is I review Kindles. It's something I never planned to do, but I have so many people asking about it. But let's go ahead and move on to some of the physical purchases that I made this month. Target had one of those buy two, get one free sales. I can't turn those down, guys. I don't know about you, but if you're a book shopper, you probably feel kind of the same way. If you don't know, I'm going to be reading Anna Stevens' Godblind trilogy here very, very soon, starting in December, and I'm very excited about that. And so when I was looking for some books to kind of complete this sale, kind of get, 3 about the same price, because they give you the cheapest one for free. So you try to get about 3 the same price, maximize your value there. So I went ahead and picked up The Stone Knife, which is book 1 in her new series. So I'm hoping that I really do like Godblind, since I've already started collecting her next series. But I've heard enough about her from people that I trust that I think I'm going to be fine with that. So if you guys have checked this out, I think my guy Petrick was pretty positive on this book, and he was kind of mixed on Godblind. So I'll be interested to see what the differences are there. But obviously she's an author that's going to keep going. So I think that there's been a good enough reception to her first trilogy. So I'm very excited to see what I found. Now, an author I hear a lot about is Brian Staveley. And I haven't read the, what's that series called? The Emperor's Blades, I think. I have the trilogy. And, of course, I got another book for that, Skullsworn. So it doesn't matter that I haven't read it. I think I keep putting out new books. Like, they just put out one of those new books of Babel. I got to get that because, and I haven't read those yet. But you got to keep the series complete, right? That's what it has. So when it does happen, it happens. And, guys, all these things are going to happen. It's just a matter of when. I've heard a lot of good things about Brian Staveley, but I haven't actually have it on the radar yet to when I'm going to be reading that series. But again, buy 2 get 1 free, guys, and completing another series. So these are 3 series I haven't read yet that I bought new books for, and 2 of them were to complete series. And this one is Legacy of Light by Matthew Ward. I had the first 2, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, the only reason I bought these when they were coming out was because I thought it was a cool story about, this is the guy that used to run Games Workshop, the tabletop gaming RPG place. And I think it's awesome because it feels like, one of us nerds, made it big. That's what it kind of feels like. So I wanted to support him when they came out. Now, as far as actually reading them, again, I don't have immediate plans. In fact, I don't think I know anyone who's actually read them except John Gwynn. John Gwynn was the one who actually said he thought that I would like it. So I don't know. If you guys have any feedback on that, give it to me. But awesome covers, and again, I just wanted to support the guy because I think it's a really, really awesome achievement that he actually pulled off. Next up, I completed another series here. This was book 4, the one I was missing, of the Dagger and the Coin by Daniel Abraham. He's one half of the writers of The Expanse, which I love. And I guess I can get this one scheduled now that I have the complete series. It's one that I've kind of been trying to put these together slowly over the past couple of years, and finally went around to doing it. And thankfully, this is one of the ones I ordered used like new, and it actually showed up it's got that remainder mark on it. But other than that, it is pretty much like new. Unlike one of those other ones recently I bought that was used like new, and it looked like someone used it to level out their couch or something. And then I completed Alistair Reynolds, the Inhibitor trilogy with the Absolution Gap. So people have asked me a lot about Alistair Reynolds. When am I going to read that? It's not going to happen before Gene Wolfe. I think Gene Wolfe has been the big sci-fi one that I really want to get into. But I want to finish Malazan first, guys, because that sounds like it requires a lot of brain power. And I want to make sure that I have enough brain power left. There is one more, and I buried it with all these other books. You're going to have to bear with me a second while I get it. I've been saying that instead of buying a bunch of small books over the month, why not treat yourself and buy one big one? Now, look, I wouldn't usually pay this much for a collection of any type, but this is my favorite comic of all time. This is Preacher Volume 2, the anniversary edition. This is the rest of the second half of the series. I'd already had the first one before. But guys, Preacher is my favorite comic of all time. It is absolutely incredible. If you haven't done it, you need to do it. This is Garth Ennis at his very, very best. It's a guy who does The Boys. So this is a guy that I think that everyone probably knows, that they just don't know that they know. But Preacher is absolutely his magnum opus, in my opinion, and I think it's an incredible, incredible journey. And yeah, this was a little more pricey than, like I said, with that Hellblazer one, than I'd usually like to pay. But again, if you try to buy each one of these on trade, especially hardcover trade, you're going to run into way more money than this actually is. But having that complete series now, really, really touched up, looking really beautiful, bright, the pages pop in 2 hardcover collections, I'm very, very happy as a fan of that. And I cannot wait to do a reread. I'd love to do a Why You Should Read on that eventually if you guys have enough interest. Do you? I hope so, because I think you'd absolutely love it. Let's move on to some of the stuff that you very sweet, cute, adorable people sent me this month. Now, what I've said previously about indie authors is I think it's great that these guys are chasing their dreams. I encourage that. I do quite a bit. I am obviously humbled if you guys want to send me your book. I just don't have time to read it right now because I have so much stuff I already have in my schedule. It's really hard for me to break that schedule. But if they do want to send me stuff, I am more happy to accept. And I had a couple more accept that offer this month. They sent me Shards by Chris Donovan. Again, guys, these are books I don't know very much about. I will drop a link below if you guys want to look into them. Very cool cover. It looks. I'm assuming this is horror. I'm not really sure, but I don't know very much about it at all. And this one, I hope I pronounce her name right. This is a proof copy. I don't believe this is out yet. This is Bluebird by Ciel Pirlo, I believe. But this one looks like a very much... it's sold as Lesbian Gunslingers in Space. So there's that. So that sounds like a hook for you guys. Like I said, I will drop a link below if you guys want to check those out. And I want to thank them for sending me those books, and I wish them nothing but success. And guys, keep chasing your dream. I'm all about it. There's something here I got that came without a name attached to it. So when that happens, sometimes I assume it's from the publisher, but this is a series I believe is complete. And they sent me the first 3 trade volumes of Nailbiter. This is an Image Comics series, but it came with no name attached to it. But if you are the one who sent it to me, please drop in the comments, drop me an email, drop me something on Instagram or Facebook, something like that. Let me know that you sent it so I can give you a proper thank you. I do appreciate this. I looked inside. The art looks really magnificent. I think Image Comics has really, in my opinion, been kicking the pants off of Marvel and DC for like the last decade here in the States. So I'm obviously interested to check that out, and I love the art style in it. But it was the first I had honestly heard of the series because, you know, Image Comics doesn't get quite the same advertisements, I think, as Marvel and DC properties do. But it looks very, very cool, and I'm interested to check it out. So thank you if you are the one who sent that to me. This one is from Cyril. Sent me quite a few things in the past, and that is really awesome. About 100 pages into this, but it's the Dave Grohl autobiography. This is the singer of Foo Fighters, in case you guys don't know. Previously in Nirvana, one hell of a musician, and he has a very, very interesting story to tell. And I love me some rock star autobiographies. I think it's just such a fun thing to learn about because, I mean, look, everyone grows up wanting to be a rock star at one point in their life, right? I mean, even actors want to be rock stars. You know? Even athletes want to be rock stars. It's like rock star was like the profession that everyone wanted to have at one point in their life or another. So I love reading that from their perspective and seeing what they were going through as it happened. You know, seeing, is this actually going to be a thing, or is this just like a temporary? Should I enjoy my 15 minutes? Is this just going to be my new way of life? I think it's really, really fascinating story. And with that, I'm really interested to hear the stuff that he had to say about his time in Nirvana, because Nirvana was like the first musical revolution in my lifetime, you know, the first big change in music. So it was something that I think that really has a lasting imprint on me, and it's something I wanted to read about from someone who was there during that time, pre the loss of Kurt Cobain. And next up, guys, this one came without a name as well. And I don't know, people just love to send me books about farts and dick jokes and poop and stuff, I guess. I don't know. This one's probably going to go to my kids. This is called Fart Quest by Aaron Reynolds. It looks very much like one of those Dogman kind of books that he would get at the store, the Minecraft ones. It's the same shape. It's got the same art style. It has the same inside, the same art style, the same big print and stuff. So, yeah, I'll probably be giving this to my 9-year-old, who will find it quite funny. Because, you know, one of you guys sent me as a joke, like, everybody poops and pees or something like that, and thought it was funny. And they keep it in the bathroom to read while they're pooping and peeing. So, hey, it works out great. So, thank you for thinking of me. When you think about garbage, think about Akeem, right? That's what this feels like. You think about farting, and apparently you think about me. So, thank you for the thought, one way or the other. Next up, this is from a lovely, lovely patron of mine, one of my favorites. This is from Steph. She had been, a lot of people have been reading The Ember Blade lately by Christopher Wooding and Chris Wooding. And I felt like I had heard of it, but now I can't stop hearing about it because people are crazy about this. And they're talking about, oh, it's a quick read. It's an 800-page book. And they're like, oh, it's a really quick read, though. So, but yeah, I was like, I guess I got to move it up. And she said, oh, okay, well, I'm going to send it to you. So thank you very much, Steph. You continue to be a blessing on my life. I'm so glad that you are part of my life. And I think that you are a super, super person. And she knows how much I like Blake Crouch right now, and so she sent me Abandon, a book by Blake Crouch I hadn't even heard of until she sent it to me. But again, that is awesome, and that is something that definitely will be read because Mr. Crouch is quickly becoming one of my favorite current working authors. And Steph, thank you so much. I love you to death. Next up, this is from Andrew over at Andrew's Wizardly Reads booktube channel that is still really, really fresh and new, and he's just really getting taking off a little bit. So I'm going to drop a link below for you guys to check it out. We've talked for a long time on my Discord. Lots of we have I say varying opinions. We agree on a lot of stuff. We disagree on a lot of stuff, and then that's fine. I think that's what this channel is all about: is talking about these things instead of just being like you're wrong, stuff like that. Agree with me or die. But yeah, I think that we have a lot of similar views on things, and especially when it comes to Jules Verne. He kind of had sent me this note about it, this collection, and say that Jules Verne was kind of his gateway to sci-fi adventure and stuff. Same with me. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That was one of the books that really just blew me away as a kid. So have this collection with that. It's got 5 Weeks in a Balloon, Journey to the Center of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues, and of course Around the World in 80 Days. And I've read all of those except the 5 Weeks in a Balloon. I haven't read that. But again, another excellent condition, a collection, leather bound. You got the sprayed edges, which I'm a sucker for. And obviously just Jules Verne. I mean, what can you not say about him that hasn't already been said? He was fantastic. And he was very influential on the medium as a whole. And he also sent me another Anthony Ryan book. This is the fourth Anthony Ryan book I have. I still haven't gotten into it, but he said he knows how much I love coming of age stories. And he says that's what this one very much is. And I think this is still set inside the Raven's Blade universe, but I don't know if it's actually like book number 4 or 5 or something like that. I don't know if that series is still going. I don't know very much about Anthony Ryan at all, except I see his books everywhere. But like, even if you go to like BookTube, I don't see a ton of coverage on Anthony Ryan. So that probably, I don't know about next year, but the year after that. And I know that seems like a long way away for some people. I plan these things almost 2 years in advance at this point because, that Malazan read-along, guys, I keep talking about it, is just a bear. But when it ends in June, it's just going to be open season. Any of these things could jump straight to the top. We're going to have no more restrictions on these things going forward. Then my buddy Christopher Rocchio, a published author, a guy who's had a pretty decent amount of success as an author, and I'm calling him my buddy. The author of Sun Eater, he sent me this hardcover collection of Lesser Devil and other stories. So it's like his short stories that are comprised inside of the Sun Eater universe, and he sent me this really awesome limited edition. They only made 500 of these, and he sent me one. So thank you so much, Christopher. This is a series I think that more people need to find out about. It seems like more people that do pick up the series, they're just falling in love with it. So it isn't just me being like, hey, this is my friend, buy his books. This is a series that I think is really, really awesome. One of the freshest takes in sci-fi I've read in many, many years. And again, the guy is just a wordsmith. So awesome human, even better author. Actually, it's the other way around. Strike it, reverse it, as Willy Wonka would say. But I think his series is great. You guys should definitely pick it up. And I look forward to reading those adventures outside of just the point of view of Hadrian. So we shall see what happens there. Then Joseph continues to be way too nice to me. He sent me several folio editions at this point. He sent me one more. And this one's all the more special, guys, because it is my guy, Michael Crichton. This is The Lost World, another gorgeous edition by Folio. It does have the dino skin. Again, I always joke that I make my kids believe that's actually dino DNA, and they believe me. But, what can you say about what Folio does? They're just awesome, aren't they? Yeah. We're reading Lost World on the great Michael Crichton reread in January. So if any of you guys want to join us on that, I'll show off a little more of the art inside then. But Joseph, thank you. This continues to just be amazing. And anytime it's Michael Crichton, I'm going to hold it all the much more precious. And also, I don't know if he sent this or Folio just sent this because, I now have so many Folio editions. They sent me this Folio diary. It's basically just a journal or a planner if you want. It's got stuff like that, but it has like all throughout it. It has, just some of the gorgeous art that is in their books, stuff like that. So I think that's just a really cool thing. I think most people do these on their phones now, anything kind of planner or day-to-day stuff. But with this is just so gorgeous. I can't see myself not using it. I think I might just take this up to my office and use it as a work planner, for appointments and stuff like that, because it's just beautiful. So I don't think there's anything that Folio Society does that isn't just gorgeous, right? So thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it, Joseph. You continue to be the best. This one, I don't know, guys, if this is from the manufacturer or what. Arrived in a white box, unmarked. I was like, please don't be, anthrax or something. But these are glucosant lights. They're like clip-on lights, things like that, rechargeable. I read a Kindle, so I don't need them. My wife, sometimes she like to, when I'm in bed, I read in the Kindle. Sorry, guys, I do. I just don't want the book hitting me in the face. So I don't ever really read in the dark, but I think you never know. You might be on a trip or something like that, and you might need these. But they sent me those, like, that's a desk one, and then they sent me different color ones of the ones that go around your neck. And again, these are rechargeable. So I don't know if they wanted me to give these away to you guys. They wanted me to talk about them or what. Like I said, they just showed up in my P.O. box without any note or anything. So if you are the representative for Glucosant who sent those to me, or if you're just a person who had them and didn't need them, drop in the comments, let me know that it was you, and I will make sure that I give you the proper thank you. Last up, guys. And I know that people have such hot takes about Funko Pops. They either love them or they hate them. Or someone will be like, oh, someone's got to let Daniel roast my shelves or something. I don't know. That's something that people kept saying in my live stream. I don't really know what that's all about. But my kid loves Funko Pops. He knows about my love for Dune, and he's just so sweet. He has to keep buying stuff for me that has Dune on it. So, of course, he bought me Paul Atreides with the Chris knife, which is just awesome. I love it. And I thought it was really awesome. I didn't need anything else. Like I said, I'm all about buying merch for Dune. I didn't need any more Funko Pops. But he had a birthday gift card that he's been holding on to for, since May. And he wanted to go blow it on Pokemon cards the other night. And again, it's his choice. That's what he wants to use it on. Like, hey, you're old enough now. You need to make these decisions yourself. And if you regret it later, well, hey, there's your life lesson. But he had money left over. And he saw this. And he said, I wanted to get you that fat floating Darth Vader guy. And he's talking about, of course, about Baron Harkonnen. So that as well. So what a sweet kid. He's got money left on his gift card, and he wants to buy something for me. So again, guys, to me, that feels like a parenting victory, that your kid is obviously that caring to give you something. But the fact that he knows how much Dune means to me, that he wants to do that. So yeah, again, kids just have the greatest hearts, don't they? They're always thinking about someone else, and you got to hang on to that before they get to that age. They start getting a little greedy, right? So it's really awesome. So again, I know some of you don't like Funko Pops, but hey, it's Dune. It don't matter if it's a sticker or if it's Dune underpants. I'm gonna wear it, So that's it, guys, for the book haul for this month. Did you get anything new? Drop in the comments and let me know what you got, and I will talk to you there.